Howdy everyone. Hey, there I am. How's it going? Hope everyone's doing alright today. On this fine Thursday evening. Get to catch you live. Maybe not listen to you speak at many kilometers an hour. You are going to be very disappointed. I apologize. I am just as fast. I don't play the speed up that I speak in for the videos. That's just how fast I speak. Punish you when you're not working? Hell yeah. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. It's almost time for some Thousand Suns. I've got stuff pre-ordered. Looking kind of cool. How much will I get to play and use them? I don't know. Because they're a pain in the ass to paint. But we're going to do some painting today. I've got a lot of Thousand Suns. I've got some here that I started ages ago. And I've got others that I have finished, quote unquote, that I want to go back and touch up. But these definitely need another layer of... Let me get the light on here. I'd rather blue. Definitely touching up and smoothing out. It looks like I've put. It looks like I've done the wash. Gold definitely needs redoing. A lot of it needs redoing, so I figured I'd do it anyway. Yet more golf for next weekend's IT. Nice. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to go to that one. Because I'm busy otherwise. Igor and Luke Goblin, by the way, thank you for following over on Twitch. So yes, today's plan, when we get to the time to actually start. Well, first we're going to chat. Just chat and, you know, see how things are. And then we'll get into some painting and just have some nice chill time. So if you're painting along with me and want to have a nice time, go ahead. If you want to ask questions, go ahead, and I'll try and see what's going on. Obviously, when I paint, it's a lot more tricky to look up at chat. You'll probably see a lot of my model going a bit crazy. What kind of update? I might give it a go. I enjoyed the little bit I played. I just haven't had time to get back into it. Congrats on going 3-2. Thank you very much. Yeah, that video I scripted, and I need to record the audio for the voiceover. It's currently going to be potentially longer than the super major. Lots to talk about. Tomorrow's video is almost done, which is good. A little bit more art needs to be done. But if you want K-Sun's Battle Force, nice. I bought the Battle Force because I wanted those little robots. They look a lot of fun. Bring back Small Paul. He might appear. He appears randomly when you least expect him. How do that, man? How's it going? It's my favourite T-Sun's model, either Magnus or the Mutalith Vortex Beast. But you know, the comments at the end is about very fun to see. Thank you. So someone, well, a couple of people sent me. Someone on Reddit posted a thread on our Warhammer 40k, which is like, I don't, you know, do you think Centurion's gonna go to Legends? And a lot of the top comments were, I hope not, otherwise Paul will be mad. Which is very funny. You gonna play Dawn of War Remaster? I might do. I remember Dawn of War being good, but I played it as a kid. How did you rig your model? I got someone else to do it. I got someone on 5 to do it. You can see their links in the description of the YouTube stream. How many Centurions do you need? We had this conversation on Monday, actually. You have the choice of either 6, 18, or 36. Those are your 3 choices. Anything in between those, it doesn't work. You either go 6 if you want just a few Centurions to have a specific... The Centurion's doing a specific thing. Or you go 18 and make it the core of your army. Or you go 36 and go silly. Those are your 3 options. Anything between those numbers doesn't work. It's like Rogel Dawns. You either go 3 Rogel Dawns or 6 Rogel Dawns. You don't go 4 or 5. It doesn't work. You go 3 Centurions, you need more. Yes, you need at least 6. I have to save Super Earth. Can't paint. Can't paint. Need to say Super Earth. How good have been ripping up vehicles beside the Chaos Land Road? What are good targets? Centurions are basically good into anything. 36 Centurions is the max you can do. And it will give you In 2,000 points, you can actually run 36 Centurions. What are my thoughts on toilet dice? I don't take loaded dice to a tournament. And 2, don't flush them down the toilet if you get caught. Don't be silly. I did realize though, I can take my 18 Centurions in a 1,000 point game if I use a Ministar and Priest, or Minister and Priest from the Imperial Agents Codex as my Warlord. Because it's 960 points, so that's the only character I could find that Space Marines can use that is 40 points. Not that I'd do it for a 1k point game. What the fuck are toilet dice? So basically there's a photo of some dice down the toilet because someone went to a tournament with loaded dice. And when they were called up on it, went to the bathroom and tried to flush them down the toilet. But because they're weighted dice, they sank to the bottom and did not flush. So there's a photo of them clearly just at the bottom of a toilet. And that is what toilet dice are. Japan adding laws to Screaming Ravens? Yeah, eventually. There's a little bit of lore. The Screaming Ravens supplement has kind of taken the back burner just because the videos have gotten so heavy in editing. But I definitely want to work on that more. What are my thoughts on Thousands of Rebels? I really like them. It looks like because there's a claw and there's claw options for both sides, you might be able to give the gun arm a little bit more articulation. I need to look into it. Zapata, how's it going? So those are just the cowards eat your opponent's dice. True. Cat, thank you for following. Make sure one day you're actually hell yeah. Those are the robots. They do. Well, I guess they always did. They're automatons, but they have the new secateurs. Pro faction has Space Marines. I mean, I always had Thousand Suns. Space Marines is my third army technically, but just happened to then be my first army because Screaming Ravens. Painting the metaskeleton of the last armature, whilst I consider a color scheme. Nice. Opinions of Blood Bowl. I've never played Blood Bowl, but I like the concept of it. It seems fun. It's like Griff Ball. I have a week to earn 1k points for a tournament. Do you think I can do it? It depends what it is. If it's 1k points of, you know, a Horde army, like Guard or Admech, no. If it's 1k points of Knights, probably, yeah. Orcs, that's somewhere in the middle. Because Orcs you can get away with a lot. What are you... If it's a Stomper, very easy. That's 800 points right there. If it's a lot of boys, you might have a problem. My day was alright, thank you. I did a lot of video editing, as I always do. But I was distracted by Blueprints again. Blueprints is one of those games where I keep getting frustrated with it because I'm kind of stuck, and then I find one thing, and then it's off to the races. But it's at the point now where I am starting to look stuff up because it's some of the stuff is so obtuse. I'm just like, I just want to make progress and see more. Any interesting announced Owlcat game? Maybe. I need to play Rogue Trader, but I haven't had time to play it. Pretty excited about the Codex Decence, just getting to myself. Everything looks good. It looks like a fun codex. I have a lot of rubrics and I like Scarab Occult, so I like that detachment. I think the Secretary robots look fun. I enjoy the new way that they're doing the Cabal stuff and the Sorcerer points, which is cool. What's your next up after Scream Ravens? It'll be Thousand Suns probably. It'll be Thousand Suns, and then when the Drukhari Codex come out, I'll go to that as well. Because I have a bunch of them, I just need to catch up. The thing with Thousand Suns is they are an absolute pain. Oh, hang on. One of these is magnetized. I must have used it for something. Oh, 2 of them are magnetized on the base. That's interesting. Well, that saves me a job later when I put these into a Magna Super over Tev.tonka.com. Do you have a painted Vortex? Yes, I do. I have Chauncey, my beautiful Vortex piece. It's one of the only models in my Thousand Suns which is actually painted and based. Magnus is painted but not based. Which, if you were here for the stream where I tried not to say like and I have... This is not the stream where I'm painting 12 models in one stream. I don't know when I'm going to do that. I need time for it. 20,000 Suns are done already. Literally Magnus and Mutant Wolf Speaks. I have some rubrics which are basically done, but they're so messy that I want to go back and clean them up. But it's not... I don't need to fully do it. These ones have the blue done, but again, it's messy. So I'm basically going to kind of go and fix it all up. Because I've also missed big swathes of it as well. And because at the time I didn't do the stripes, I need to go back and do that as well. But the Sorcerer here especially has a lot of stuff that's missed. Not terrible, but it's definitely could do with improving. And a lot of the wash is kind of pooled, so it needs going over again. But I did these like 2 years ago. Can you name all 1,000 suns? Oh, you're such a big fan of 1,000 suns, so I name all 1,000. Dark list I make for boarding action. I don't know enough about boarding action. This time there will be another huge paragraph when we get 0.32 seconds to pause and 3 minutes to read. Next video. There isn't. I haven't made one of those jokes in this video, no. That's not yet. I haven't finished editing though. I might put one in there just to annoy you. But at least I'm giving you like a third of a second. That's plenty of time. Lilith, Succubus, 3 squads of racks. Why would you take racks instead of witches if you're taking succubi? Would be my only question. I don't know. Why don't you play orcs? Seem like a really fun orc. I mean, orcs. If I went back to time, orcs is probably one of the things I would play. But unfortunately, I did not start playing orcs. Orcs. Because of boarding action rules? Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess do they become lone off or something? Whereas the trims I've tried. It's not with 1,000 Suns. It's not so much the trim that's a massive problem. I mean, it's a bit of a pain. It's the stripes that I never did. That's the big problem. I saw the new game. I saw a little bit about the new game code showcase. I wasn't too. Some of it looked quite cool. Knights of 1,000 Suns. I prefer 1,000 Suns to Knights. The rules around making lists, right? How's life? It's all right. Life's doing okay at the moment. Foot Goblin. Sorry, Foot Goblin. Loot Goblin. What's it foot? Ryman, thank you over on Twitch. Thank you very much. Blood Angels. Blood Angels are scary, and they beat me, and it makes me sad. Those new Secateurs, I like them. I think they're really cool, and the rules look quite nice as well. Opinions on Skaven? I like Skaven as well. Skaven are cool. Right, I guess we should get started with some painting. Painting along with me, then cool. I will find it difficult to reply to everything in chat. Obviously, I will try and reply to everything. But obviously, when I'm looking down, I can't see what you're doing. So if you really want me to answer your question, Superchats are there because it'll text-to-speech it and I'll make a noise and that'll make me pay attention. If you like that.
Orkami
thank you for your super chat. Orkami when? Bro. If any time, I don't know. Like the stream will help out as well. Get more people involved, but there's a lot of you already here, so thank you for joining. We're going for a little while. Stick around at the end. We'll do some raiding, of course. I think Liam Dempsey is streaming today, so he can take the YouTube guys. And if you have Twitch, if Dog is streaming, I want to crash that goddamn car because I've seen it working now. And it'd be funny. Anyway, this one. Ta-da! That's my hand as I try and readjust. Yeah, so these guys I did like 2 years ago. You can see they're a bit messy. They look even messier on the stream, to be honest. So I need to clean all this up, and that's kind of what I'm going to do today. Mostly just to get practice again at this stuff. That's the main thing. Adject Pulp, thank you for following. That's nowhere near 1,000. It's close enough. Like 5 if you round it up to the nearest 1,000. Is it just a black doodle arm? A hand. Doesn't cannot field Centurions. But they can field Scarabacles, which are just cool. And the Mutant Vortex Beast, which is also very nice. I'm going to be a bit too... This should be fun. It's got paint on it. So yeah, I'm basically just going to go around. We're going to have a nice, chill stream. I'm going to punch the light, which is a really bad idea because that's what the camera's on. I was just trying to shake the paint. I want to have to punch the light. I'll attempt to keep everything on screen. And catch your eye with the skull stream? Not really. I mean, the Dawn of War looks quite fun, but... We're going to get a nice amount of this on the palette. And close the paint so we don't knock it over. On stream. That'll be annoying. I don't think I need to water this down that much. And you'll probably see, there you go, my VTuber model will go crazy. I will probably at some point pull this away from the camera and it'll annoy everyone. For my Thousand Suns, it's going to be very much standard. Unfortunately, Past Paul made this a bit of a pain. He's not thinned his paints nearly enough. His brush control wasn't exactly the best. Not like my brush control is any better, but I've already put some on the gold there. I don't know why I always start with the legs. I don't know why I've started doing a shoulder on stream. Just need to smooth out all of this. Thousand Suns base coat, make it pop a little bit more because it's a bit dull. Because I think I put some wash on it, and then kind of that's when I stopped. But again, I think I painted these at least 2 years ago. And honestly, I think spraying it gold and then trying to do the blue is a mistake. I actually think it's easier to go over the thing afterwards. Throw passport into pit of no return. I mean, that's what time is, right? Not to get weirdly philosophical, but the past is the pit of no return. You can't go back to it. It's very early in the streams to have an existential crisis, but I'm not above giving you an existential crisis. Let's do romance again. Are the Chicago coming along? I haven't really touched them much recently. I did get some mandrakes and I've undercoated them. Also undercoated some... undercoated some more incubi. I'm kind of waiting for... It might be one of the last codexes at this point, but... I feel like doing the Thousand Suns while the Thousand Suns Codex is fresh makes sense, if you know what I mean. What is that? That is trimmed there. I've pulled it somewhat off screen. I need to look at something. And again, I apologise if I'm not reading your messages. Oh, I also went to pick up my PO box stuff today. I actually have received something, which is very generous. Although my my local post depot only opens between 8 AM and 10 AM now. Although they have said they will automatically... I think it was about a year ago they must have changed it, because now they automatically try and redeliver packages rather than just making you go there. I guess it was a change that I just didn't notice. It's a bit silly that literally only open over 10, which is good because at one point this week I was thinking about going at lunchtime. Oh, I would have been very disappointed. many guards on my street? 0, actually. A lot of you seem to have been all talk and no actual action. I have no guard models. Yeah, the thing is with 1000 Suns, you got all these bits here. We're getting into there. There's like butterfly-like pattern on the back. And obviously, getting it on the gold there, but I'm going to redo all this. Basically, I also missed like massive parts like here. Now this should be blue. I think I've done it silver on my other ones, so I might change that on them as well. Obviously, it's going to take a few coats because obviously it's trying to go over gold. I think I did it silver to try and be different, but I do prefer the blue. Let that rest. Need more paint already. Probably need to put more on my palette at once, to be honest. Apple, please says hi back. Hi back. You got lucky that I looked up at that point. Because I could tell that stupid joke. Fucking got him. I feel like going for a base coat that works with both is probably the better play, to be honest. But I feel like trying to go blue and then gold on top of that, or gold and then blue in the creases. I feel like just, if you're going to do that, you're going to make the mistakes anyway, so just go either a lighter one and then contrast paint it, or just go with a standard. A colour that's a lot easier to... Because the one thing with the gold undercoat is that it's horrible to use. At least I found it was. It's never ogre. Thank you for following over on Twitch. How many armies in total do I have? 3 main ones. Like 3 playable ones if they were painted. I have bits and pieces from other armies, but not nearly enough to field an actual army, to be honest. But you can already tell it is... Yeah, that's nice and bright. That's not so bright. I think I already did that one. Already did that panel. I haven't done this shoulder pad. Because the thing with 1000 Suns is not just, you know, the trim. It's also stuff like these eyes that are all over the place. If I've noticed. These probably want to be blue as well. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to trying out the 1000 Suns again. They were they were very complicated, and the Cabal point system meant you had to really just take a load of characters. And Magnus looks still great as well. There's also these bits in here, which they do just stripes on. That's going to be a bit insane. But the fact they do the stripes in there, something tells me that's going to be horrible. Let me look at a picture quickly. Rubrics range. What are the backpacks like? Blue in some places, okay. Need more blue. Any interest in Trench Crusade or OPR? Any game here? I've played one-page rules before. I quite like it. I don't see it as a replacement for 40k. I think see it as an additional game you can play. I think that they offer different things. Trench Crusade, I'm not that interested in. It's just there's not enough time in the day, and I'm enjoying 40k right now. Yeah, it's like in here. Obviously, I'm going to be covering the gold there. But in there is blue. What is that bit there? So and these are bits on my other models that are more complete that I've not done either, so plenty of touch up to do. I think just going over the gold and not being too precious about it is probably a better play, because I need to go over the gold regardless. I'm up here. Characteristics, the ore or the gold mistake. Let's try and fix that. One of the earlier video ideas I had was to do a fake Rubrics tutorial. And it was going to be like, step 1, do all the blue. Step 2, do all the gold. Step 3, do all the blue to clean up the gold. All the gold mistakes. Step 4, do up gold to clean up all the blue mistakes. Step 5. And then it just keeps going back and forth. Forever. So I am going to be less precious with the gold. What's the blue? This is Thousand Suns blue. I should close the blue so it doesn't get tipped over on stream. Token kill team answer. Yeah, that's the thing. I was speaking to someone at the tournament and he basically jumps between games every couple of years. I guess it's just a good way of doing it. But again, I'm in a fairly unique position where like people you know will comment about Trench Crusade and one-page rules and stuff, but your issue is that's just like your opinion, man, essentially. Because I reckon those videos will not do so well, just because most people are interested in 40k, or at least from my community. I mean, some of you will be interested in Trench Crusade for sure, but yeah. The other problem with Thousand Suns is these bits in here. Nope. I may be a lot less precious with that because I don't know how you're meant to get that eye. That sounds like a pain. Obviously a smaller brush, but just want to get everything just lightened up a little bit. Try and go from a better baseline for these guys. Because these have bolters, a lot of them, my guys, have flamers. So when I get the new ones, I need to look and see if I need to do more bolters or flamers. So. Settings are better set on than rules. That's fair. I also think it's a it's one of those things where 40k is a popular game that everyone plays. Because 40k is a popular game that everyone plays. It's kind of self-fulfilling, right? Like even if there are better rules, 40k is popular, which means it's easier for more people to find it, which is why 40k is popular. Yeah. So now that you went through to are you retiring from streaming Ravens? No. So I'm not going to be able to paint enough stuff to get these guys in a tournament. Scream Ravens is going to continue to be my my army for tournaments and stuff. So we could compare. I'm going to look on stream. Is there a noticeable difference in color? Yeah. Especially on the shoulders, you can see how much brighter this one is. In some places, not so much, obviously, and again in the places where there is actually more blue. It just looks a lot cleaner. Obviously not everywhere. Cool. So obviously still places like this I'll need to come back, like on where I've added new blue. They're going to need another coat. But we can move on to the next model. See the difference? Nice. This is probably going to what Age of Sigmar. That's the other thing, like, man. If I was to move to another game, it would be Age of Sigmar. 40k's like D&D in that way. Exactly. Like D&D is popular because everyone knows about D&D. Obviously, there's a bunch of new games coming out. You know, Critical Role has one. Daggerheart, Matt Colville, and MCDM. They have Raw Steel. So there's a lot of those games coming out. But the thing with the D&D is, if, like with Warhammer, if you want to play a space tabletop game, Warhammer's probably your best bet because it's most accessible. Likewise, if you want to play a tabletop RPG for the first time, most people are going to go in first through D&D. And with a lot of these things, most people get their foot in the door, go, I enjoy this, and that's where they stop. Like, a lot of people play tabletop RPGs, but they just play D&D because they go in and go, I enjoy D&D. I played Call of Cthulhu, and I've read some other books, but not played them. But I think it's because when people just want that thing, it's the path of least resistance, and it happens to be the most popular thing, right? Brings back memories of painting Robert Gurley, man. Oh man, I cannot imagine. Magnus was hard enough. Also, Gaming Beaver, it was very funny because you were in you came along to a stream. I was like, oh, I've heard of the guy. I think I hadn't watched any of your videos before. But like the next day, I looked at the stuff. I was like, Crash Chase with the Game Beaver. I don't recognize that. How's it going? You need to get everyone Centurions over in Japan. Get them involved. The first time seeing your hands, I know. Ooh, they're really bony and horrible and thin. Ooh. That's the thing. A lot of these things. It's like, oh, it's going to be a WoW killer or Warhammer killer. It's not. You know, how many MMOs came out that tried to be the WoW killer? WoW is still just as popular as it always has been. Maybe not as popular, but it's still very much one of the most popular MMOs still out there. Nothing's killed WoW. Something like Final Fantasy XIV has, you know, equaled or surpassed it, but it's not killed it. Same with all of these other games. If you're going in trying to kill the popular thing, you're going to fail. Make your own thing, and success isn't measured by being as good as the biggest thing. You know what I mean? Go back from work and I'm oof. Technically, I'm still at work because this is work, which is still weird to me. I have started saying to the woman, I've been like, I'm at work or I'm doing work, when what I'm actually doing is, you know, obviously video editing, which is work. I'm not saying it isn't work, but it's still weird to me that this is my job. And has continued to be my job for nearly half a year now. And at the moment, it is still successful. In fact, it's been very successful. So thank you for all the support, as always. Geek One, the one geek. Thank you, Vaughn. Price of Theft of Joy, exactly. Talking about a video, I have to get myself some Centurions first, but what if Legends though? What if Legends though? Then they won't go to Legends because I will make sure of it. Plans are in place to ensure that they do not go to Legends. And if anyone from Games Workshop is watching and think that's a threat, it is. Why Thousand Suns liking the paint? Liking the paint plan. Thousand Suns was my second army, and because their new codex is on the horizon, I thought I would get some of my old and busted Thousand Suns out and try and... But these were painted 2 years ago. to this point, and so they very much need a lot of touch-ups. I'm kind of basically just redoing. I'm kind of just treating this as if it's just a whole new thing. And it's nice. It's nice to get a change of scenery. Obi Watts, thank you for following me over on Twitch. We're in the as long as we hold steady on Twitch, the Twitch fans hold steady. If Dog does stream today, that is our plan. I want to make that car crash happen. I don't even care if he doesn't know it. I just want the car crash to happen because it just makes me laugh so much. I want to cause a ruckus. I did before I said woman phone. It was from one guy on stream. I've forgotten who you are, but if you are the person who was caused us to call my fiance the woman. Thank you, because both me and the woman find it very funny, and it's fun to put it into the videos as the woman with the Dark Souls music. With a guarantee, I guess I'll have to get myself something. Absolutely. If people are, if the people from Geeks Plus are interested in getting to Warhammer, just throw Centurions at them and tell them Paul sent you, and they go, "Who's Paul?" And you go, "Don't worry about it. Just this is the best model." And if they don't think it's the best model, if they say it's bad, send them to me, and I'll make sure that they understand that is in fact the best model. I want Centurion love to go. I guess it already goes global, seeing as people from all over the world watch these videos. Even more global. Globalier. More of a paint set and they look super fun. Yeah. These are an interesting one to paint. The issue is you can go crazy with these ones, just because there's so much detail. It can be a little daunting. Someone's followed. The Muffin Man, thank you for following over on Twitch. And Biximus Maximus, thank you both for following. Racing Warhammer Minis, it's only Centurions. Exactly. Tomorrow's video is the best and worst non-named character models from every faction. And obviously because there is no Centurion character, it was very difficult to find, you know, any models that were worth talking about, really. But I found them. Henk the Dutch guy. Thank you for following. That's about people value an assured community over literally anything. So for hobby stuff like Warhammer VTuber Gaming, they can't support an assured community for more than one rule set. It's always going to be the one game that plays. Yeah, pretty much. Like it's especially with something like a war game, where there's even on some games where the models can be cheaper. It's still an investment, not just of money to get the models, but also of time to get those models ready. And if you then just have no one to play with, then, you know, it's kind of wasted. You can see, obviously before, I got very heavy, and you can't actually because I'm taking it off screen. You might not be able to see anyway. Very heavy in there. That wasn't me now, that's just me. That was past Paul has gone too heavy there. So we need to do these extra bits. Fortunately, these heads here, they don't need anything. There was a bit of small Paul there for you. I even saw that. We like a bit of small Paul here. I saw a meme that said, "My biggest fear is that when I die, my partner will sell my armies for what I told them I paid." I think it's very much a a joke, I think. They can see, they can work, like, most people can work out the price. Like, you can say one thing, but it's not exactly a difficult thing to look up. And here's the other thing with that. When you're dead, why do you care? I'm dead. I don't bloody need it. I'm dead. I was gonna say in a holding ground, I probably won't be. I'll be cremated, so I'm not even that. I'm just dust in the wind. And also, I imagine in, hopefully, the distant future, I'm not going to be exactly concerned about the price of my miniatures from decades previous. I think it is just a meme. It's just a bit of a funny joke. Bit of a ha-ha funny. That blue cover's real. Well, so this is, I guess, technically 2 coats because of the first coat was already on there. Kind of. Not really. But Thousand Suns Blue is one of the best blues. It's actually a really good paint. I use it on many things that aren't Thousand Suns. Just because it is a very nice paint. I think I've got basically everything there. To at least a better position. So now these ones should look... Whoa, once I drop it. These two should look very similar now. Yeah, you can definitely see that they are basically the same now. Cool. And for those who have joined, you can have a look at the... This is what we're working from on the... On the right here. On the left is what we have done. So you can see it's a lot darker because I think I null oiled it or I didn't do many coats. You can see it's also kind of thick. This side it smoothed out a lot more. These ones I did, like I say, a couple of years ago now. That's good news. Do you read the highlighted messages more than the other ones? I guess so, because I saw yours because it said highlighted message on it. But it's mostly just the fact that me like looking up is infrequent. First live stream, hello, welcome in. Yeah, I need a much better setup for it because, like, you know, it's a autofocus camera hanging on a light. It's already kind of tilting slightly. Okay. Why does paint over instead of stripping with isopropyl? Because this was at a point where like these were in progress. These aren't finished models. They were in progress, and essentially the next step that I would have done was what I'm doing now. It's just I'm now doing it 2 years later. I don't need to strip it and start again. These are in a position where they're fine. And stripping it all the way down seems like a waste of time. Think I'll ever start a World Eaters army? Probably not. Never say never, but not my not on the horizon. Not in my list of things to do. There's quite a lot of this now. We need more of it. Can we get a Centurion cam? I mean, I don't have a Centurion nearby. Which chat do you read more? I read them both. I can see you've said them both. It's less a case of which chat do I read more, and more of a case of when how often am I looking up, and were you the person who I see has posted most recently? Unless you have supported me through Superchats or bits to get text speech. Oh, okay. Shilling again. Gotta keep that shilling up. Or become a member or gift those things, and I'll look up and I'll praise you. And thank you for supporting the channel, etc. Although thank you for supporting the channel for being here anyway. There you go, exactly. Flips, thank you for the super chat.
Ziench Centurion Kit Bash ran as Hellbrute proxy.
Zinch Centurion as a Hellbrute. I think you could do that. It'd have to be scaled up a little bit. Oh, the sake you left him truly up to modern standards? No, exactly, which is why I'm going back through and doing it. Elect Man. It's not in a position where stripping it and starting again makes sense when I can probably go from this point and make it better, which is why I'm doing it this way. I think you could do a Zinch Centurion as a proxy. I think it would be different if these were more complete. I would at that point probably just leave them and just say these are my old ones. And because I've got so many rubrics and I've got more coming, I could probably just make different ones. You know what I mean? Well, potentially, okay, how far do you think you're complete with each of your armies? Thousand Suns is about 25%. And that's because 2 models make up that 25%, to be honest. With Magnus and Beast of the Vortex Beast. Maybe even 20%. Drukhari, also about... Drukhari are probably even less, actually, because I've done a few models that I'm quite happy with. A few are almost there. The main issue is that the majority of the bulk is going to be in Raiders. Although now that I have an airbrush, that might not be so bad. I'll probably do the Raiders with the airbrush. And the Venoms and stuff. Obviously, Screaming Ravens is done. My Gits is probably... Gloomspike Gits is probably about 25%? 20%? So not far along at all. That's the problem. Which is why it's it's so weird that the Screaming Ravens made such good progress, if you know what I mean. Like, suddenly. The truth is it Dreadnoughts for people who don't like Dreadnoughts? I don't think so. I don't think that's true, because I like Dreadnoughts. It's the Top Gear meme of this is great, but I like this. I really like Dreadnoughts. Especially Redemptor chassis ones, but I just love Centurions. There's also these stripes here on the legs, randomly. They need to be yellowified. And I think that's going to add the most to these models compared to how they were before. I've also seen Cheeky been doing that. Fast Paul, you missed a spot. Unbelievable. And on this side as well. That needs to be blue. Trying to get away with that, didn't you? You knob. What dreadnoughts can you put minigun and rocket pods? Redemptors, right? I don't think I have rocket pods though. I guess there's one that you can do both with. You can have the same loadout essentially, almost, not really, with the ballistas, right? Dreadnoughts, this is the thing. Dreadnoughts are their own thing, right? Like they don't need to be compared to Centurions. You can have both, which is great because it's funny to take a Brutalis and a Stormraven. I was thinking, I had an idea to try and get the Brutalis in the list again as a rapid ingress threat. Potentially. I kind of need to work on the top half here, so like the arms. I mean, fair play to some of these bits, they're actually quite neat. I'm going to make it worse. The hands. What are the hands? The hands aren't gold. The hands should be blue, right? I messed that up. Ah, you see? There is another bit I've missed. The hands should be blue. There's going to be another bit I'm going to have to go over with a couple of coats. Cover the gold. I think I missed these on my other guys as well. Wonder if that was intentional in the past. I'm going to say it was intentional because I'm lazy, not because it was a conscious design decision. So I will have to go back and do that on the ones I've already done. I'm kind of trying to do box art. It's a weird... There's some armies, I feel like, where box art is the right way to do it. Thousand Suns... Thousand Suns is one of them. Obviously, there's a few different ways you can do it as well. Like, I've seen some really nice ones. But I do really like the blue. I feel like when you do Aspect Warriors, doing them in the right colours is also good. So I feel like if I were to do an Eldari army, I'd do Aspect Warriors, but then have all of the colours wrong. Just because I think it would be funny. Like blue Fire Dragons. And red Striking Scorpions. Dark, maybe black armoured Howling Banshees. Oh no, Thousand Suns, I think because I just like the design of the original Thousand Suns, it's alright. Almost got your 3,000 points of inventory. Nice. Congratulations. This is not contrast paint now. This is Thousand Suns blue, regular base paint. Watered down with water. I actually also think... I need to click over here again. That should be blue, but also... Is anyone going to really notice? I've noticed, so I'm going to have to fix it. Get this back bit of the armor here. Is also technically blue. Let's go do the bits on the... on the front here. Clean these bits up. By clean these bits up, I mean generally make it more messy, but brighter so we can come back and do it better later. We've got these bits in the backpack. Slightly different backpack design, this one. I think that's the other thing with this, is like, because they're all very slightly different designs. You have to be careful, you have to make sure you got all the right places. With each of the individual ways they do it. Yeah, just having that blue back there just looks nice. Brighten this bit up here as well. There's a little bit more water, I think. Make sure I get some good flow. What's my list? I haven't really got one for Thousand Suns yet because I'm going to wait for the codex. But it'll probably be heavy on Rubrics, heavy on Scarab Occults. I want to use those new robots. Magnus, Araman, Mooch of the Vortex Beast. Put some Sangwells in there for good measure. I have some Chaos Spawn as well. Quite nice. They're good for grabbing objectives and such. And these large bits here as well. I think it's the back of the headdress as well. That shoulder looks a bit dull. I don't know if I did it. Go wrong with another thin layer of paint. Oh yeah, something went wrong with the spray in there. The vent inside there is all fucked, for want of a better word. Also I can see you. I didn't do there either. Did do there, did do there, did do there. Feel like I need to be more methodical because I'm jumping around a little bit too much. And then not remembering where I've done. There you go. I'm going to quickly go back and do the hands on these guys. Again, like 3k subs. Yeah, I think it's in 2 weeks I've gained 3,000 subs, which is really good. Really good progress. My Centurion video got a huge amount. The most subs I've got in a day ever. I think it was like 800 just from the Centurion video. Crazy. I'm not sure why. I guess people are just like, fine. I guess he's serious about this. I guess I'll subscribe. Because it didn't do any better. Well, it did well view-wise, to be fair. But not... The amount of subscribers it got far exceeded the amount of views it got on average. Which is cool. We're also about to have an advert. Which means I will probably also finish these hands to a quick stretch and hydrate, and I encourage you all to do so as well. This is 1000 Suns Blue, yes.
Being a simp don't pay these days, I guess.
Being a simp don't pay these days, I guess. I guess not. Thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, 1000 Suns Blue, even if you don't play 1000 Suns, is one of the best blues you can get. It's very good. Even over this gold, it's got good coverage. So it's a little bit watery. That might be a little bit thick. Can never get the consistency right. Let's get in there and do that. You can kind of see now that it's dried as well. You can see how, comparing these two, how more kind of greeny this one is. Now that it's got dried a bit, we can take another thin coat, push that colour. I'm saying that like I'm an expert. I ain't. I ain't an expert. I'm having fun. Am I having fun? I guess so. Are you having fun, chat? I'm asking you a question. I'm not looking up because I'm still doing this. But I'll look up and I can see the vibe and see if people are having fun or not. Right. We'll leave that one to dry. All the fun, hell yeah. But I think I just put some blue on that. How much do paints cost? About 3 to 4 quid for paint. That's for Citadel, obviously cheaper alternatives are available. I will say 1000 Blue is a good paint. It's a little bit down. Oh, unfortunate. I'm glad hanging out is fun though. Bashing model from Etsy, nice. It's a great century is being huge. If it's the Eons of Battle one. No. I included it in the Centurions video. It's not the Eons of Battle one, then I don't know. There's definitely a few make your Centurions bigger videos, but like I said in the Centurion, like I said in my Centurions video, they never look right. Not to say that I wouldn't be happy with a promosified version if it looked like that, but I like my chunky boys. You know what I mean? We can get a bit more smooth on that. The base coat might have been a little bit thick from back in day when I did this first time. Also, I can improve this. The one thing I am going to try with this scheme is a bit of layering. I've never been good at it, and I feel like getting the Airman blue just to brighten up some of the areas does really help with showing off 1,000 Suns. But I feel like that's a bridge I will need to cross later. Because I obviously still need to do the gold retouches. War Machine model's nice. No, I don't have any real experience with War Machine. So those three are done. And the ads are basically over. So I apologise to all the people who saw ads. You ever sit in a really stupid position? I've just realised I'm sitting, like, putting a lot of pressure on my big toe. Ow. I had my legs crossed over and I've been standing on my toe. I'm going to have a hydration. With red. Delicious red. And stretch. Everyone else, make sure to stretch and hydrate. Delicious blood for the blood god. That is classic Robinson's blood for the blood god right there. Oh, big stretch. So these two more to do for the blue. Fortunately, it looks like they're both got the shouty, angry dragon backpacks. Look at this. I believe they are gold. Yes, that's fine. I also don't know what to do with the flame. Because unfortunately, there's not a 361 here that has the flame on it. I can't see. There's blue in it. I assume there is. I assume that bit in there is blue? I might do the flame layer. That might be a layer on thing. I didn't hear a big toe, I heard something else. Well, I don't know what you heard. It sounds inappropriate. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, the flame itself is green. It's this bit here. That bit there, that bit might be blue. And the flame itself is green. But I don't know. Cross that bridge layer. We've got plenty more to be going on with these guys. And that's the thing, I think the thing with 1,000 Suns is if the Rubrics were a specialized unit, it'd be fine, but every 1,000 Suns is like this, and you sometimes have like 25 Rubrics and 15 to 20 Scarab Occults, so there's just so much of this. Which is partly why I think I've done the Screaming Ravens as I have, where everything is so different. Because it means it's not the same over and over. I guess the other thing with being a newer painter and doing something like 1,000 Suns is you are doing the same thing over and over on the same models because you have to keep going back and forth. Which is a big problem. Big problem. Try to flame is to paint it all white, then use shades and contrast to spruce it up. That makes a lot of sense. Thing is when you dry brush it. I've never really had much success with dry brushing, I'll be honest. I think I'm definitely doing something wrong. It's probably the fact that I'm not got one of them, like, spongy things or whatever. But even so, even when I've tried not just drying it on, like, a kitchen roll or whatever, it still doesn't seem to work right. I feel like I'm either doing it too much or too little. It's not a technique I really enjoy. I mean, it's alright. I feel like I don't have control with it. And I've seen the kind of stuff you can do with it. Like Artis Opus or whatever. Might be a subject of a video down the line. So my videos have been very kind of game heavy, I guess. But they're the ones that are more popular. Maybe. There's also Centurions do tell me, which psychic power would a Centurion Librarian have? That's a good question. The thing is, here's the thing I was thinking about this with characters for the Centurions. Think of the kind of stuff that characters give a unit. Things like lethal hits, or an invuln, or movement. All of those things would be absurd for Centurions. It's such a multiplier of their effectiveness. I played against one of the Dark Angels players had Azrael, which gives a 4-up invuln with Hellblasters, and the Orc player had the 4-up invuln given from a big mech in Mega Armor to Flash Kits, because he was using the one where you can attach them to Flash Kits. And that 4-up invuln does so much work. If there was a Centurion character that gave them a 4-up invuln, obviously it's different coming from, like, Orcs getting a 4-up invuln is insane, because they're usually on 5s. But not being able to take Centurions down below a 4-up save. Hey. I found I was simply not making enough swipes in dry brushing. I was loading the brush too little. A little too much, but what did the trick was leaving very little on there, making about 10 strokes when drying around 4 to 5. That's interesting, because I always feel like I get to the point where there's just no paint on there whatsoever, and I just cannot notice it, and then I try adding more, and it's too much. That might be it. Maybe I'm not being patient enough with it. I also feel like it gets everywhere. I don't control the brush enough either. What I'm saying is a massive skill issue. Like, genuinely just a big skill issue. Speaking of skill issue. Actually, to be fair, that needs to be striped. I'll put that in there for now. So technically those bits will become blue and yellow stripes. So actually getting the blue on there was a blessing in disguise, really. I think there's something to be said as well. Like, I could have a lot of mistakes on this, but as long as it's vivid, like the colours, it looks better. I think my other ones are a bit too dark. They don't really pop. I think that's something I need to work on in general. Making sure my colours pop. And that comes down to the layering side of things, I think. The other thing with layering I always find difficult is you put it on and then it doesn't look right. So you try to fix it, but then if you leave it to dry overnight or whatever, or have another perspective of it later down the line, it looks correct. Very difficult to judge. Kind of painting in general, I guess, is difficult to judge. Because how it looks before and after it dries is very different. Be very deceptive. When you make the white stripes, they'll be yellow. I think what I'll probably do what my normal yellow recipe, which is to do them pink and then cover it with the yellow contrast. It actually helps make it quite nice. I don't know. I have to do them different because that's gonna, like, the contrast paints for those stripes might run a bit much. I've actually missed a bit of blue in there on the arm. You can see it in there as well. I played Kill Team 2. I never played Kill Team. I haven't played Kill Team 3 yet. But I liked Kill Team when I tried it. But again, it's one of those ones where it's another game, and when I get around to playing games, it's usually something else I want to play. This was my first mini in a year yesterday. Really happy with it. Hell yeah. Especially with shaky hands. Congratulations. And Scanian, thank you for following over on Twitch. I don't know why I said all that, but I did, so deal with it, unfortunately. Definitely need to make sure I'm getting into these bits on the hands. It's a big bit in there I missed. Thousand Suns is definitely one of the ones where I think if I were to start this again, sub-assemblies would be really helpful. I guess if you want like professional Thousand Suns, you definitely need to do it in sub-assemblies. This is impossible when it's all together. There's so much stuff hidden. Then I guess the other thing is it's hidden, so who's going to notice? That's the other thing, I suppose. Make sure I get the blue. Like through there. Fastball didn't even try to get onto them. I can see why he didn't do it because it's an actual bloody pain in the ass. Alright, I think I got it. Okay, maybe Fastball was right about that one. What is my favourite podcast? This counts as a podcast. Like, podcasts are interesting. I don't think I'd start one. I don't have enough interesting things to say. And also, being able to answer questions from chat and kind of bounce off chat is a lot more useful to me. So I think streaming is more my speed. I do want to stream more, but the problem is time. You know, like the original plan was to do several during the week, but I'm kind of resigning myself to do Monday, Thursday now, just because videos are taking so long. And the only reason videos are taking so long is my own fault, because I'm scope creeping them all the time. Like, it's insane to me that I used to do 3-minute videos. The 3-minute video would take me no time at all, but all my videos now are getting to 20 plus minutes. I think this week's video is going to be 20 odd minutes. Next week's video is probably going to go over 30. I'm enjoying most of the videos, and I do like that they have some length. They're nice projects to do, but it does mean I don't have as much time for streaming. Go to Game Expo next weekend? No, unfortunately not. I'm going to be busy. Is Trim first working out? I'm too scared to go with the Bill Gold. Yeah. The Paul and Steve podcast. So obviously I did these in gold originally. I don't think it's worth it, honestly. I think it's better not to. I've got some which are uncoated, I've got some which are white as well, or like light colour, which I might try doing the War Hipster method for. Try a few different methods. When you enjoy making videos, like watching them, good. I'm glad you enjoy watching them. They are fun to make. Sometimes it can be a bit tedious. I have kind of started with the talking head bit where a normal video would have someone talking to a camera. The bits where I'm just like my avatar with different faces. I am starting to shortcut that a little bit by using the same ones over and over. Just because there's no... I used to remake them each time, but I'm using the same facial expression, just slightly different each time. I'm kind of adding to a library. I used to do it where, like, up until a couple of weeks ago, I would at least change the shirt color. I'm probably going to stop doing that as well, because it's a lot easier just to have that library ready to go. I can then just slot into the videos. So little shortcuts like that, I suppose, are quite nice. Right, I need to see if I can find one of this arm. So I actually don't know what colour that is meant to be. I think that's meant to be a gold trim with blue inside. I think it is, so I've definitely messed that hand up. Because this has got pieces from the Exalted Sorcerer set. And hence for this week's video, I mean, I try to tell you, it's coming out tomorrow, and it will be best and worst non-named character models from each army. The reason it's non-named is because the named characters would probably win every time. So what's the best character from Thousand Suns, Magnus? So, non-named. Non-epic heroes. Iron Man, exactly. I think it's better to save his hand. Exactly. I definitely... Definitely better to do it this way. And I don't think... No one's noticed. Well, no, may have noticed, but no one commented on it. I don't think people... I don't think it's one of those things that, you know, I felt like it was something I had to do, but realistically, I don't. Well, interesting. That's actually happened there as well. I'm sure some people do notice, but no one really has cared. I don't think it helps because it would, again, the justification I have is that it would be the parts where normally, if I were to be a non-animated, they would be the parts where I'd be talking. One of the other things I was thinking about is kind of doing, you know, mouth movements for each of the basic, like syllables, but that would also be a pain in the ass because you have to edit so much of that. And over time I'll have, because the thing I need to do in this video to complete it is I still have a few sections where the current facial expressions I have do not work in there. So I need to go and make some new ones. And obviously then that adds to the pool of ones I can use in the future. Is a lot more useful. At least this guy is giving me easier access to his chest. Also, because I've been talking, I've not really been concentrating on which parts I've done and which parts I have not, so kind of gonna go down this leg, do all of this leg, the foot, and then at least I know this side is done. You can see bits there as well, you see. I feel like my painting style is very much, I get everything into a somewhat standard position, then go individually model by model. Because this guy's obviously going to need a lot of different things. What am I going to paint after these? My Thousand Suns, probably more Rubrics. So maybe some Scarab Occults. Actually, you know what? By the time I've done these, the Secretary robots will be here. I'll probably do them. But I'm probably going to do them not as the box. I'm going to do them like this, where basically they're blue and gold rather than the weird bone colour that they are. I'll grant you the other side of this leg pull. In there, you can definitely see that pull. That pass pull, you can definitely have seen that. And that one up there. You could have done that one very easily. And you just didn't, because you were lazy. And in there as well. Come on now, Paul. There's a limit to how bone idle you can be. Is you in there? Although you went too hard on that bit. That bit is not meant to be blue. That there is meant to be gold. But that was definitely a fail. But you also missed this bit here. That's meant to be blue. There. I think. Maybe not. Well, we'll find out. You got another one with the stripy shoulders. You didn't do anything on the head at all. Yeah, the Dawn of War we time, maybe. I remember it being fun as a kid, so definitely something I might pick up. Was that a long small pull? It might have been. This is the problem, is I can never. I very rarely catch my own small pulls. The small pull compilation. Compilation. There we go. Yes, these stripy bits here will eventually be yellow and blue, so you need to block them in. Can't leave them like that. That one I can leave. That one does make sense. Right. Third face. Get in there. Obviously the eyes will be something different eventually. I feel like getting there and there. So the rest of his birdie face will be different colour. All this, actually, all this hair, Paul. Look at all this. Entire back armour was undone, not done. So much gold. So much gold where it shouldn't have been. That's fine. This front bit here. That blocked in. Probably come back for the weapon here. And that blocked in as well. And sure that's all got. We'll see. Very much overflowing onto the gold. But I think that's better. Oh, you got yourself an airbrush, no more brush priming for you? Nice. Brush priming? You're priming with a brush? That's horrible. That's awful. If I didn't use sorcerers again, no. You might have asked that a while ago. I did prime these ones with gold, yeah. I've got others that are not primed with gold. So you're going to be running blobs of flames and bolters or a mix? Probably... I'll probably do a bit... I don't know. I need to look at the book. I do like flamers, because obviously it's a good Overwatch deterrent. Rerolls to wound, you know. A lot of good things there, but some of the bolt stuff looks quite nice. I think it depends on what attachment I end up running. Because obviously AP2 on the bolters is really good. But that kind of feels like it's gonna go insane. There might be a mix. But I have a mix, that's the thing. I think I've got 10 with bolsters, 10 with flamers already. So the new ones I can do a split as well, so. It'd be easy to prime with blue and then just paint the gold chip. This is the thing. There's an argument for both, and that's been a long argument for, and it kind of depends. My hot take on it is you're trying to basically do it where you don't have to clean as many mistakes. But because you're going to have to, whatever you prime it with, you're going to have to do that color anyway. You're not going to leave it prime, just the prime. So just prime it in your standard color. Don't try and be fancy with it. Right. So I think I'm going to attempt some gold. I'm just going to look in the natural light. Yeah, there's still a little... Oh, they're quite bright. Try and get some gold in here. I'm going to use a smaller brush, obviously. Trusty... A trusty small airbrush. Just a small airbrush could do with a bit of clean, to be honest. I haven't really got much of the choice. Gonna have to be this one. New to the hobby, and this guy was willing to trade his old airbrush kit and some Necros and polish it. Oh, nice. But it was more of the fact that you could have got a spray can, right? Rather than doing brush priming. But I don't know. Like a rattle can is a good thing for beginners as well. Right. Before everyone cries and moans and pisses and shits themselves. Yes, this is metallics on a wet palette. I've never had any issues with metallics on a wet palette. The question: can you show how thin paints properly? Yeah, I put them on this. I put my brush into the water. I bring it back. And then I go, nah, that looks about right. And then the wet palette kind of tries to keep it relatively consistent, but the problem with how to thin your paint, it's very much a vibes thing. You kind of have to do it because obviously humidity of your room and location, the type of paint, all changes it. Yeah, I'm not really showing anything useful. Brush here, go in paint, go in water. Water, go on paint. But you got to find the right consistency yourself, and it's difficult for me to kind of tell you. Like, there's nothing down here that's really that useful. Like, it's that consistency, but you can't really see it anyway because it's quite small. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of fiddle with it until it feels right. And then sometimes I go, oh, that's perfect, and then I never find that again. It's difficult. You plan to finish Magnus. So the stream that I've got up that I need to do for the 50k followers or 50k subscribers is gonna be finishing Magnus's base as well as one of the models. Right, try to be careful now. Oh, a very small ball there. Even I saw that one. We're very concentrating on this, so I do apologise for the lack of commentary, but obviously the less mistakes I make here, the better. Obviously, this is a proper banger of a song as well. So it's not exactly a be careful song. There we go. There we go. That's much more of a be careful song. Do you highlight metallics with highlight metallics, or should it even be? I generally do a little bit of highlighting with a little bit of... Normally for gold, normally with a silver, like a... It's almost silver. I don't really like Liberator. Is it Liberator Gold? One of the golds. It kind of dulls everything down a bit. I'm just trying to get that little bit of shine with the silver. It usually works out alright. What color? Ooh. Undershoot. I think it's probably black, right? Yeah, so I think it's a bit black, but that's later on. I'm talking about these bits here in the leg. They can stay as they are for now. Obviously, Passpal did go over these with a wash, but it's not really been that effective. So, I do find washes on metallics, like sometimes I do alright, but most of the time when I wash a metallic, I have to go back over it with a lot of colour anyway, just because it dulls it down so much. Maybe something like a pin wash would help. I don't really know how to do that. To answer your question, are you going to get gold wash? Probably, but I'm going to be very careful with it. Because I think one of the problems I have with my other rubrics is there's quite a lot of pooling. And it dulls it down a bit too much, I find. Well, maybe there just wasn't enough gold on these models to begin with. But this is the bit that takes a lot of time. It's kind of one of the reasons that I didn't really get too far with 1,000 Suns. Like, I enjoy painting them. They are just very time consuming. But, to be honest, I'm quite enjoying this. Quite relaxing. Though I say that, I'm going to make a mistake and get annoyed, and it's not exactly going to be as relaxing anymore. Ah, I missed your needs as well. Like, a lot of the wash that I did previously is kind of surviving, I think. Yeah, Retro and Storm 50, that's there. I usually use Storm Silver. Balthazar Gold? Ah, that's the kind of more bronzy one, right? I'm definitely a sucker for the vibrancy of Retributor. I think the other thing with 1,000 Suns when I was painting them before, I was using gold in a lot of places. Where is that belt? Also black, okay. A few black details that I think I didn't do on my other guys, which probably also is going to help a little bit. Need a bit more gold. Paint the pipes and parts. Yeah, you're one of those people who does the inside of vehicles. That's one thing I've not done. I've not done like the inside of my Storm Raven or anything because, frankly, you're not going to look in there. There's a limit to the details I paint. That limit is, will you be able to actually see them? If the answer is no, that's unfortunate. Lord Tervel. Thank you for following. Over on Twitch. Where's... Oh, the cape. Right. Up into the arms here. Stream makes you want to paint? Nice. I hope I do encourage other people to paint. Gotta get through that pile of shame somehow. Yes, this one is also one of the ones that will be blue in there, so do the outside here, but not gonna get too precious with the shoulders. Now so you can see kind of here, I may not be able to see. That pooling there, I need to clean that up. So I definitely did do some wash beforehand. Sorry, move out of the way, Run 36 Centurions at the next tournament. Unfortunately, I don't have 36 Centurions. Also, 80 Centurions is actually doing well. It's now at that point where I'm like, wow. This is kind of no longer a meme. It's actually surprisingly, potentially legit. And the big thing is, it's a lot of fun. I do like other things in my Space Marines. I like my Vanguard vets, for example. That's satisfying. Look at that. But looking at the things down there, look at this. I can see a little bit of gold I got in there, but the actual trim on the backpack looks quite nice now. At least that's that lower section. Obviously on the upper section, I still need to clean up the gold. Girl cows don't even pay hammer for bucks. I'm very much looking forward to the drop pod. If the drop pod takes Centurions, oh my god. Dream come true. I'm hoping it has like a 10 capacity or 12 capacity. And it can take Centurions. There's not been any more news about that, has there? They just said, yeah, we're doing it, and then it all went quiet. Which I find quite interesting. Definitely missing blue in there because I need to go through those little stripes there, so I'll probably need to come back and clean that up anyway. Look at these dragony hands. Who's that? Awakens Knight. Thank you for following over on Twitch. Don't know why I keep saying Twitch in more unique and weird ways every time, but tis what tis. Which Robert's Borders train look cool? Yeah. Can't have seen the one won't. Well, dare to dream is what I say. They are going to update the datasheet, so you never know. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. Okay. Making some decent progress with this one. Obviously the progress is a lot slower than the blue. Just because you have to be that much more careful. I do also have to remember I need to kind of do, you know, not just the trim. There's bits of gold here that need more re-golding. A little bit. Again, weapons can come later. I definitely feel that my brush control has improved. I remember doing these before and really not understanding and struggling with it. I'm having a much easier time. Again, some of these details, I can see that this is going to be an absolute nightmare. I think it's more of an appreciation of when enough is enough. There's these bits. There. There. Final bit. Just there. I definitely think doing Magnus definitely helped. What brush did you use? I just used Citadel, to be honest. Nothing fancy. They work what I need them to do. There we go. Yeah. I'm the head yet, but oh yeah, on the stream you can tell the blue is really nice and popping. Oh, we got a good song as well. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. They're planning on taking any films in the future. Yes! They do monthly ones locally. Oh, in Winchester, which is I will probably try and do as much as I can. Backhammer Minis, hello. Thank you for following. Hello. How's it going? It was nice. It is looking decent. Also, this is the thing with House of Suns is one mini takes a little while. It's a patient army. And as someone who is not patient, probably not a good thing, is it? Brush my eye. Right. This bit is going to be Around the eyes. The trim here. And there. Yeah, pro tip, by the way. Do not try 1,000 Suns as one of your first armies. Now that I've had a little bit of experience under my belt in painting and playing, feels like it's going a lot better. I'm definitely still overspinning a little bit there, but not nearly as much as I was before. The main thing now is trying to be a streamer while doing this. That's the next challenge. Look at that. Too late, this is my first army. Well, good luck. Hedris actually looks reasonable. This side does not, but we can fix that. If it is your first one, just patience. Patience is what you need. If you got patience, you can do it. Patience and determination, and you'll get through 1,000 Suns. No, nary a problem. Unfortunately, when I started playing, I did not have patience, which is why I have so many of them. Right. I think that guy's gold is mostly cleaned up. My doctor calls me patient all the time. I mean, makes sense. What Centurion colour scheme is your favourite? My favourite ones are my 6th squad, the Ocarina of Time ones. Although I do really like the Majora's Mask ones and the Midna ones as well. Or the Twilight Princess ones. He's gonna let me show the difference. Obviously, including the cleanup, the actual shino as well. Also knock the bloody... The backpack especially. Look at that. Actual achievement. Blurry achievement, but actual achievement. In real life, they don't look as bright at gold. Natural light. But they're definitely a better base than what they were before. Was it the same tournament as you? Oh, nice! Everyone to face your situation with Aspect Host. Well, I played someone else's. I played someone else's Aspect Host. Martin's. How did you do in the end? Okay, the bottle shells are a different colour. Oh, as in, I mean, I will do. Like, I haven't done the guns yet. I thought you meant like each individual shell a different colour, which I thought would have been insane. Oh, right, nice. Yeah, the game against mine was great. Obviously, I won, which makes it nicer. But also, it was a really nice guy. Like, really friendly. We had a good laugh about his striking Snorpions. The Horus Heresy just about very second. Horus Heresy, the admex of Horus Heresy was cool, but. Oh, you're the guy who got last trophy. Oh, nice. I say no, but you know, did he have fun? That's the main thing. As long as he had fun. It seemed like he had fun. Who's putting you got this blink if you're in danger? I mean, like, my avatar might blink randomly. Who's putting me up to this? Me, because I'm getting the new codex. Yeah, Martin was saying how he usually goes see someone doesn't usually when he has good games. We had a win, we had good games, and that's all it's about. And it's a good community there. I enjoy the Winchester a lot. The local Winchester Road Traders lot. If you're in the Chichester area, anyone in chat is in Chichester area, looking to go to a tournament, the guy who runs those tournaments in Winchester is doing one there, and there's plenty of spaces. So look it up on Best Goes Pairing. He does indeed love his Scorpions. Only they rolled more than like a 5. What paints do you use? These are just Citadel. I've quite a lot of Scarab Cults, yeah. They're in various states of paint, but none of them are really finished. Some of them are close, but again, judging by these, I'm gonna have to. There's a lot of cleanup I need to do on them. So. How did they do? They killed a lot. But they were very lazy in getting into combat. When they got into combat, they killed stuff. But, for example, he needed a 3 to make the charge, and he rolled a 3. Which unfortunately meant not everything could get into combat. So it wasn't as impactful. But a 10 block of striking Scorpions is actually legit in that Wave Serpent. I think the main thing that went wrong was he basically split wide, and I went, okay, well, I'm just going to go down one flank. I've made a bit of a mistake there. That's fine. And I basically just said, all right, you can have that side of the board. I'm going to have this side of the board. Carved out space for my Centurions. And that space meant he couldn't really escape. My army list is very much one that can snowball out of control if you let it. Well, not if you let it. If I can get a footing or make some space, it can snowball out of control when I get Centurions in a unexpected location. Taking Deathwing Blade Guard. Ooh, Deathwing Blade Guard. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Deathwing is scary. We'll find all about that next week, probably. Running Fate Sesh myself, and then get from Safer Shades to the recess of my Imperial Fists. Eradicates, hell yeah. Rossi, your thoughts? I think they look really cool, the new ones. A lot of interesting new things. Less reliance on having lots and lots of Cabal points, so no need to take as many characters. Lots of different playstyles. More consistency on the rituals. So they are slightly less powerful, but still very good. No 3d3 Doom Bolts anymore, or whatever stupid it was. Or like D3 plus 6. It was a shame. That was fun to do Doom Bolts like that, but it is a bit silly. Like to do that twice in a turn is just a smidge bonkers. But I like the idea of the, you know, being able to push for a stronger thing. The ultimate, yeah, the ultimate aspect of murder, like, it's one of those ones similar with my Centurions, because yeah, Martin was saying that people don't really, they take the small blobs of 5 Striker Scorpions just for the scouts and the infiltrate. But like with my Centurions, if you build around it, it's surprisingly effective. And honestly, I think he was saying he might get more. If he had 2 wave serpents with 2 lots of that, obviously one of them can't have the aspect of murder, but you still get the other stuff with it. And that is an interesting list concept. You've picked up a Xenosaga which you play? I played Drukari. Well, I have a Drukari army, so I'd pick them. So whilst we are discussing Eldari, an aspect host Eldari does seem interesting. Just because of all the different things you can get access to. But it is also very complicated. There's so much stuff. Kind of not been focused on which parts I've done and not done. Let's be more careful. So I'm going to make a bit... That's not a word. Miss a big bit. South Africa, you are an hour ahead. Test is medium for maths. If you think about heading to bed, you should probably head to bed. And do well on your maths. The VOD will always be there if you want to continue watching it tomorrow. Not that I think you would. It'd be nice background music for you tomorrow. Or background something. How many of you here... Obviously you're here right now. I still ask this question. How many of you watch the VODs? For streams you miss? I'm going to guess not many. Because they aren't exactly the most interesting VODs in the world. This depends what it is, right? You watch the VODs? Interesting. The VODs are basically it's video on demand. It's basically the replays of the streams. Would you be okay fighting Sea Suns if they were painted all brass? Yeah. There's the same people who do the kind of statue versions, right? Where it's basically a grey or stone colour. And then you then you just dry brush it. 1,000 Suns, it looks cool. Then you have like glowing eyes or whatever. Definitely a hack way to get, as in a cheat, not a like it. Oh, you're a hack. It's a quick way of getting a 1,000 Suns army kind of set up. That I'm in grade 7. I don't know what that means in UK money, but good luck. Read any more lore? I'll watch the videos if I'm interested in the topic. I haven't read too much more lore. I watched Bricky's latest Warhammer video, which was quite interesting and actually entertaining as well, obviously. But learned a fair bit from that. Yeah, that was a bad. That was a bad overflow there, Paul. You weren't really focusing on where the line was. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. A little bit annoying. Just pay more attention. Remnant of Chaos. Thank you for following. Should I make a 2nd edition Tyranid army? Do you want a 2nd edition Tyranid army? If the answer is yes, then yes. If the answer is no, then probably not. If the answer is I'm not sure, flip a coin. And if you say I don't have a coin, I can't help you. I cannot provide you with a coin. Used to be a major complaint against the display cells that people couldn't interact with them due to bad rules. Do you think it's proven new text? Oh, you got the ad. Sorry. I will wait for your ad to be over. Mortals, mutants, misguided words. Hello. How dangerous is to drink the water you dip your paintbrush in? Not dangerous, because it is not toxic, but ill-advised. Not good for you, but not bad for you. It's just kind of going to make you... It's going to hurt your ego, at least. We're going to make you feel a little bit ill, because it's like, ugh. But you won't die. You'll be alright. Unless you drink loads and loads of it, in which case, what's wrong with you? It made a video where he tried coffee with various amounts of paint. Oof. I was able to strong magnets powered by thousands of suns due to being so powerful. Potentially. I mean, he is a wizard. The person who makes them, so I mean, that's thousands of suns, isn't it? So, quite possibly, you might be onto something. That's finished. All right. So you asked about, yeah. So Eldari are they are more interactable. It's just they are very tricksy. Obviously, Martin being the good player and nice person he is, obviously reminded me a lot about their if I shoot you, then you can move. That was something I was thinking about a lot because I was like, oh, I could do this and then this. It's like, but if you shoot me here, I'm going to move first. It's like, that's a good point. And they are very, very quick. But that was the only... It was the only toughness 3 army that I played all tournament. After playing... I mean, the Orcs were the next... I guess... The next least toughest. But they are still T5. Obviously, their saves are bad. But it's still T5. I've forgotten how... susceptible to incidental fire Eldari is. So stuff like my Centurion Hurricane Bolters and my Repulsor Defensive Array really did more work than I expected. Obviously, the Flamer Centurions got to really go hard on the warp spiders and stuff. When T-Sons take Vindicators? I believe so. Play CCRPGs? I played Indie, yes. We had a session, 2 days ago, in fact. We are currently trapped in a nightmare. Because something is causing a town to fall asleep and not wake up. Oh, my character, who's a goblin ranger called Ruffle, has now decided that the crossbow that she has is now called Friendship. So she can go, I'll solve this through the power of friendship. And they go, oh, that's nice, Ruffle. And she goes, yes, the power of friendship. And then pulls out a giant crossbow. Which I think is very funny. Yeah, Hurricane Bottles are really good. And again, that's the thing with Centurions is you obviously have their main weapon profile. But their incidental... Oh. Sorry, Packer. Apparently you had too many too many full stops there. Sorry about that. But yeah, so like with the like the Devastated Centurions, I always have to warn people like that. I go, they have las cannons, but it's the missiles that are the scary thing. Don't sleep on them. And it's the same with the Centurions. Yeah, yes, the melters and the flamers are the scary part, but still, With a full squad within 12 inches, that's 18 bolter shots. And when we're doing stuff like Oath of Moment or whatever, and then it's +1 to wound, that adds up. Adds up quick. You ever had a watched Quinn's Quest? I have not heard of that, unfortunately, no. Oh, I missed some blue on this one. Idiot. We'll be fine. Not the end of the world. This is the thing with Thousand Suns, there's always going to be cleanup. And because I'm probably going to go through with stuff like layering and edge highlights, that can be a part of that step as well. It's not the end of the world. There's a couple of mistakes here and there. As long as it's a bit neater than it was before. That's the main thing. Which it looks like it mostly is. Not as successful as the other one, but it is starting to get a bit later. I always drink my paint water. Hasn't done me any harm. Ah! Yes. I've never drunk my paint water because I keep my paint water and my actual drink very separate. Speaking of making mistakes, I was about to say I haven't spilled paint before. I almost did on stream once. So I did catch it. Caught it with Magnus's wing, which is why I close my water every time now. Don't want to be caught sleeping on that. Just takes one mistake to get paint everywhere. Of course, that's for something like Null Oil. Ah, the Null Oil's everywhere. It's getting into my shoes. You need to build up the tolerance. I like how you said the trick to painting to drinking paint water. There is no trick to drinking paint water. Don't drink paint water. The trick is don't do it. That's the secret they don't want to tell you. Is you're not meant to drink it. Which is crazy as it sounds, I know, but trust me on that. I know I say stay hydrated, but other water is available. Just by getting a little bit more out. Big thing when it comes to 4K is that after finally painting enough to actually try it again, I won't even like it. If you, I mean, yeah, like Packhammer says, jump. Like if you got friends who are playing it, jump in and play them. This is why my video, it's okay to be grey. I still agree with that. You're allowed to play with grey minis. Like some people said, you know, they're fine as long as like progress is made. But like even then, I'm like, if you don't make progress, it's fine. If you want to try different things, like if you're there for the game, because some people can't paint, you know. Like sometimes, you know, even somebody's like, oh yeah, just put, you know, just slap some paint on it just to get to battle ready, and that's fine. No, I'll be happy with that if you just, you know, you just did a base coat or something. That's at least shows something. It's like, yeah, some people can't even do that. Like, you know, those people should still be allowed to play. And it's different for tournaments. I'll grant you. I do understand the point of battle ready, because it does stop someone going, okay, well this is the latest meta. I don't need to paint it. I can just slap it together. But the thing with that is the kind of person who would think like that probably not great to play against with whether they got painted models or not. I'd rather play against someone who's cool, who may not paint all their models, than play against someone who's a bit of a knob. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, don't make people feel bad for whatever reason they are not either not painting their models or can't paint their models or don't want to paint their models, but still want to play the game. An aspect of the hobby that they should be allowed to enjoy. And again, tournaments are different, but tournaments aren't the end-all and be-all. Because the other thing people say is like, oh, about the immersion. Like, I'm sure you've got enough imagination that you could just imagine them painted if it was really bothersome. Same with the terrain thing. Like, people play with books and videotapes, and probably not videotapes in this day and age, but you know what I mean. You know, random junk that can go in just to make terrain. I'm sure they've got the imagination to pretend that copy of Smut Book 7 is a ruined city. I'm sure they can work that one out. I'm sure you can too. So, again, like I say, tournaments is a different thing. For, you know, having a way to protect from potential sudden meta changes or confusion for armies. And also, tournaments are not just a place to play good games, they are a celebration of the hobby. Like, people think of tournament players as these, you know, sweat lords. But Backhammer, over on Twitch, Martin, who I played as well, they just had to have a good time. And, you know, I take 80 Centurions, someone was there with a Warhound. You know what people did when they saw the Warhound? They didn't go, oh my god, that's not competitive. They went, holy shit, a Warhound. That's cool as fuck. And if your local community isn't like that, or your whatever, you know, your tournament community or your community is not like that, then your community is got some growing up to do. I had a conversation on the Sunday before the game started, and people were just, you know, joking about, you know, laughing about how silly my armor list is, but, you know, talking about it, having fun with it. They weren't like, oh my god, that's so silly. Like, what are you doing? That's not going to do anything. People are there to play the game they like. And see cool models. Tournament's the only thing that exists. What if you base some of your units on famous Sith with Thousand Sons? I could do that for my Tomb Ravens. Thousand Sons I'm going to do very much. The box art. I can't. Sorry about my little soapbox there. It's something I feel very passionate about. Yeah, a plastic pic of the dudes in the army playing 40k with the rocks, ammo casing the boots. Yeah, like... I don't think I have seen that picture, but... I mean... This is something... The reason I kind of go off on it all the time... I say all the time. But when I make tournament videos and I talk about this kind of stuff... It's something I feel quite passionate about. So I think I've got... I'm conscious that I actually have some sort of platform. Like, people watch my videos... And maybe they respect my opinions or not, but whatever, but... That I am able to say this kind of stuff and try and get the stigma out there about, you know, the negativity online. That's the main thing. It's one of those ones where I kind of want to try and counter some of that. Because obviously, the online space can be very negative. Because negativity sells, right? It's kind of the nature of the beast. want to bring the fun back into it. And the thing is, I think people think of tournaments as not fun and ruining the game when that's not it at all, because the experience I've had is completely the opposite. Because it was a worry that I had, you know, going to my first tournaments is like, am I just going to run into these sweat laws I hear about online? But no, absolutely not, because... And I'm not saying they aren't out there, obviously, but from what I've spoken to people about, anecdotally, from my own experience, they're so few and far between. And I get it, like, one negative experience can ruin 1,000 positive ones. I understand that. Once bitten, twice shy. But there are people out there who haven't even given that a chance. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe they should. I mean, I've literally just painted that entire thing with this not being on the screen. Because I'm so focused on chatting, I apologise. That'll do. Let's see if I can grab that a little bit down there. They're all one of my... Yeah, that's the other thing, is those kind of negative people probably will start to, you know, find their way to each other. Because no one else will want to play with them. Just fell asleep and heard you perfectly clear in my dream. You made a Warhammer Titan show up. Any idea of running Salamanders and Salamanders list? I think that Centurions and Salamanders work really well because of the attachment. Like the normal Salamanders attachment. Assault on Centurions is really good. Which 40k faction do you think fits? Generosity, Rage, and Manipulation. I guess the Nesh, right? SS. Love the tournament rundown videos. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's I've heard people online talking about this stuff, like, oh, you know, play like this and that, and go, oh, I never played the game. Like, well, why are you complaining? What's wrong with you? What's your opinion on WYSIWYG? WYSIWYG for me is, outside of most, like, if I turned up and just had some Scourges, would you be able to tell me what weapons they are? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know half the weapons on these things. The thing, WYSIWYG should be rebranded. So not what you see is what you get, is what you see makes sense and is consistent, which is like what you see. And is consistent. Mosaic or something. Basically, if I have 3 squads, I'm using Drukhari Scourges because they have a lot of different weapons. In fact, even these guys. Let's say half of these guys had flamers and half of these guys had bolters. If I say they all have flamers, that's not a problem, because yeah, some of them are modeled with bolters. But if they all have flamers, they all have flamers, and you don't have to think about it. But if I said, okay, these ones that look like they have bolters have flamers, but these ones that look like they have bolters do have bolters, that's not good. Be consistent. Or for example, here it's like, you know, oh, they all have flamers, apart from this guy who has a flamer instead of this. No. That's a bit silly. Scourges is one I like to use a lot because I can't tell the difference between Drukhari ones. But if I had 3 different, and because Scourges, because you only get one thing in the box, if you built all of your Scourges with different weapons, so you have a squad of 5 and you build them as in the box, and you just went, all of them have Dart Lances, fine. But if you had 2 squads of them, and you went, these ones have Dart Lances, these ones have Haywire Blasters, but they all have all the 4 individual weapons, that becomes more tricky. So I feel like it's just a case of, you know, was Mosaic. What you see makes sense and is consistent. So, and because a lot of the time, like with WYSIWYG, it's like with pistols. Sometimes you have pistols in holsters. You know. What's your opinion on the whole Year of Chaos thing? I mean, it's done alright. We've had all of the Chaos things. Emperor's Children. And it's May, so there might be some more. Yeah, I understand the concept of WYSIWYG, but I think most people are fine with proxies and slightly different things just if it's consistent. Don't be confusing. Which is why if I wanted to turn my Vanguard veterans into jump intercessors, there are 2 that look like they could have power fists, and obviously they can have plasma pistols, but I would basically say I don't have the other plasma pistol. Because I'd have to try and work out which one has the plasma pistol, and they'd be like, okay, Captain Falcon has the plasma pistol on this one, and then the Black Bull has it on this one. It's like, no, I just don't have the plasma pistol. As I have bright rudder bands, we had to show a difference between anything too similar. That's the other thing as well. Like, you can use that kind of thing. Or if you've got one squad which is red and one squad which is blue. That's the other thing I do for my repulsors, which obviously it's slightly different because it's not WYSIWYG. But when I'm doing my transports, I say this... I've got one which has got red lights and one which has blue lights and blue details, and one has red details. I go, the flamers go in the red one, the melters go in the blue one. Do you think it's too late to reduce? I don't really get into the whole Year of Chaos debate thing. There's some confusion around whether that was a direct quote or whatever, but people say, and again, people are saying Year of Chaos was definitely underwhelming. We're in May. The year isn't over. If it's December and it's underwhelming, let's, ignoring the fact that may or may not have been said. If it was said, and we're in December, and it's not been great, fine. But we're in May. It's not even halfway through the year yet. I don't know. It feels premature. Which rhino should I get for 1,000 Suns? I don't know if you meant to say the wrong witch, but which rhino, because their wizard is very funny. There is only one. Right. Since when do you have 1,000 Suns? I had them before my Screaming Ravens 1,000 Suns. It's just I haven't really been painting them. Speaking of not been painting them. So I got a hang now. It's kind of annoying. Also, it's getting late. But right. So we got two of them, I think. Let's have a look at the two we did. Like fully. So the one on this one here is, you can see it, the headdress is slightly messier. Didn't do quite as well. So I'm definitely getting to the point where my dexterity is a bit less, but it's definitely a lot brighter than they did at the start. You can definitely see over here though on this one. Need to clean this blue up here. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with them. And when you compare them to ones that I haven't done, I haven't cleaned up. Like the gold is duller. Like you can see on the feet, not nearly as good. Loads of places needs cleaning up. This one is really nice though. Obviously, there's still little bits I can do, but I'll do that with layering. He did all the black details. This is the thing with 1,000 Suns. Like, we've been going 2.5 hours. Realistically, I haven't done too much. I mean, it's a slow progress. Got to be careful. Don't forget the blast with Agrax. To be fair, like, because I'd already blasted them with Agrax when I first did these ages ago, you can see some of the wash is still a little bit alive. A little bit. Like, you can kind of see it around these parts here, around the bolts and stuff. There are some places where it pulled quite a lot. I'm probably gonna be a bit more conservative with the wash because it darkened them down loads. Looking forward to the new Assault Turkers. I am actually. So I've still got 3 of these to do. It's been fun though. I've been enjoying this. I might do more painting, either on or off stream. Right-click down Agrax. There's a. To be fair, there's a lot you can do with different washes. Not even that. So like, I've got both Agrax and Reichland. But Guilliman Flesh works for this. Skeleton Horde. Any of those brown contrast paints as well work really nicely. There's a lot you can do. Oil. I've not explored oil washes. Explain oil washes to me, because I'm dumb and stupid and simple. I assume it's just oils. Which makes sense. But what kind of paint is an oil? Marine juice. I've not tried marine juice. I mean, marine like sea life, I guess that's just water, right? Salt water? I've not tried salt water. Like the same as Tamiya panel liners. I'm going to close this up while I Google. Miniature painting oil wash. Images. Okay, oil paints and thin them with white spirits. Huh. So, what are washes then from like a Citadel wash? I guess that's not an oil paint, is it? It's just a wash paint. guess that's a different thing. This one's good. Thank you. I've got a little bit of progress. I think these two are the ones that we've made progress today on. So there's a bit more overspit on this one just because of the time. Now, these are slow going ones. Might be one of those ones where, you know, streaming. You make it yourself, mixing medium with some other paint. Do I just thin acrylic? That makes sense. What kind of oil wash are we talking? Like just oils you do for, I guess, canvas painting? Trying to find some pictures that give a good representation of it. Let's choose paint and get an art shops. Oh, interesting. Can't decide whether or not I want to go for Thousand Sons or Emperor's Children. It's a difficult one. They're very different armies. Depends how... It seems like they're both complex. I've not played against Emperor's Children, but based on their... Oh, I kind of see the effect of oil wash now. Yeah. Based on their rules, Emperor's Children are really complicated. Lamy medium plus AP Dark Tone wash plus Reichland Fresh Aid in a ratio of 4 to 3 to 3. Wow. Living Levels doing another stream in 10 days. Oh, interesting. You have 18 or 19 or 20 armies. Damn, that's a lot of armies. Yeah, the painting is slow. It's a slow paint. Like I say, I've got a few. I'll see if I can... 1 second. I'm going to go find and show you some of the ones I've done. Quote unquote done. So I'm a little far away because I've got a box on my legs. So, for example, these are the ones that I said were kind of done. Obviously, I said I wanted to go back and do the thing, but you can see it's got more details. It's got the bolters done, the eyes are done on the back. Like I said, it's silver in the back here. It's actually not too bad, but you can see it's even just from cleaning these ones up. There's a dullness to it. You can definitely see on there like that needs some brightening up on the shoulders, for example. But obviously, it needs a base as well. And you can see a lot of the trim needs cleaning up. So these don't need that much work doing to them. Obviously, a little bit. Probably just go over the blues, then do the strips. Probably make these consistent, make them blue again. So that's not too bad, right? Where's the... getting caught on somewhere else. And again, you can see like with these ones, the purple on there is not too bad. But it's definitely a bit flat, and definitely on these, like, I've done the shading, but not really done much more since then, right? Hey, Secretary Roberts, I'm getting some from the box, yeah. So those are those ones. I've got a few like these, which I've done, which are white undercoated, because I wanted to try the War Hipster method. I've got some of them. I've got some just straight up gold. So what I did before was I did the undercoat in gold, did all the gold, and then did the wash. But to be honest, it's going to be all redone anyway. Helps a little bit though. Kind of gets a bit of a start, which I think is why the gold on this looks all right, even though I've gone over it again with a blue or with a gold, because it was already washed. One man and Comstock, thank you for following. And then you got stuff like this. These are my Scarab occults that I've done, quite unquote done. A little bit brighter because I have kind of gone over it again. But there's definitely some cleanup needs doing on these. The swords don't do too bad, but again, there's no... I haven't done these bits here. So again, these are almost there. So with a bit of... I might do a stream where I kind of go through all of these and just get these into a state, because then that would be... You know, what's that? So I've got 10 Rubrics and 5 Scarab occults there. The problem is I built this one. He has that, but this guy has the missiles. So I do need to get this missile off this guy and put it on here. Because it's slightly annoying having that be slightly incorrect. But that's a stream that I could do pretty quick, just to kind of basically go over and clean these up. Because there's one like this, in fact, where you can kind of see the wash has really made it shiny. It needs a little bit of, just a little bit of TLC. Even the back, like the trim on the back's not too bad. Like these are, you know, fine. I think so plans for the bases, I was gonna use sand, like PVA glue and sand, probably. But I might look into something else. Yeah, I've got quite. So how many have I got in here? I also started this guy. Trying to contrast paint him, and I just got stuck and then didn't continue because obviously you can see it's really overly contrast painted in places. So this guy is going to be reset also. His staff's a bit needs a bit of a repair on the staff. I also might make another one of these with the scarab box I'm getting from the new box. I also have, whilst we're looking at stuff, Araman in here, which I painstakingly magnetized. So that I can have him on or off disc. So the magnet isn't really working now. Come on. There you go. So it's a little bit fiddly. I was gonna, but he can only be on disc now, so now he just wobbles a bit. But that's fine. Nice future-proofing in case they change their mind. But in here I have got 20 Scarab Occult Terminators. 5, 10, yeah, I've got 20 Scarab Occult Terminators. I'm getting another 5 from that new box. I've got 5, 10, 15, 20, plus the 25 rubrics. Which means I probably, because they come in boxes of 10, I'll probably have another 5 rubrics somewhere. I've got, what's this? What? Like, several sorcerers. I've got the Infernal Master. Now, if you've been following the channel since the beginning, the very first video, I spray painted this. Because, you know, I spanned the wheel, spray painted some stuff, and then I spanned the wheel until I got something that I could paint, and it was the bikes. This, I spray painted for the first video, and this is how it is now. And that first video was nearly 3 years ago. So, plenty to get on with. Oh, this is, to be fair, I'm fairly happy with this model, but I definitely think I could do better. In fact, I do like the... This is the Scarab Occult Sorcerer. Cape's a little bit rough. Got these kind of feathers there. There's even edge highlighting on this guy, actually. That's actually not too bad. It's subtle in life, but you can actually see it better on the camera. But, you know what? Fair play, Paul. The cape's really good, I think. The cloth. I think that's Carla Glacier. I've seen a mistake already, but you know what? Not too bad. So again, these things are pretty easy to clean up. I also have one of these guys is magnetized. So we can do that. I basically magnetized one. I think both arms are magnetized, in fact. Just because he can either be a sorcerer or a regular. And so it's nice to have the option. And to be fair with these guys are so easy to magnetize. So I've got one magnetized guy. Because usually you do like a 10 and 2 5s. Do you buy secondhand or everything brand new? I buy stuff brand new. I'm not a big fan of secondhand stuff. Although I did buy some sisters from a friend of mine who was selling them, and they're nicely painted. So I thought it'd be a nice jump start for a sisters army, and then I never built the ones I bought. I've wondered if lecturers think Rubrics have good fashion taste. They probably do. I mean, similar theme, right? However, hope you enjoyed my little showcase there of my myriad Rubrics. Looking back, to be fair, like just getting the blue shined up. But to be fair, there's a lot to shine up, so it might be a bit more. But it's not going from 0. Which is the main thing, because when you go from 0, you're doing 2 coats of everything. This just needs a little bit of touch, you know, a little bit of care and some bases. And then you kind of have something going here. Plus Magnus, plus the plus Scarab, plus not Scarab, plus the Yeah, the Scarab Reports is definitely better than the Rubrics. Plus Mutleth. Yeah. I'll be ending off for now. Thank you very much. I'm going to send you over to... Don't run away. If you run away right now, I'm going to be very upset at you. I need to redirect you over to... Liam Dempsey. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Go say hello to Liam. Tell him I sent you and tell him that Centurion's the best or something. I don't know. Where's the end screen? Blah. Alright. Thanks for watching, everyone. Unfortunately, no Color Crush today. And video tomorrow. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.